This is Kim Meyer, host of Choose to Rise. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What is up, Rewritten? It's Julianne Condia, your host. Thanks for tuning in. You are here because you want to go somewhere. You are here because you have vision for your life, you want to be unstuck, and you want to move mountains. I am really excited to chat with you today because I just think that this episode is going to speak to you. I just think that I needed to hear what I'm about to say to you, and it is very true, and I just think that consistency is everything. Over the last few years, I always heard consistency is key, and that couldn't be more true. Consistency does make the difference. Consistency is the game changer. Consistency is something that I think that our society lacks, and I just really hope to speak to you today so you can have a better understanding of what consistency might actually look like in your journey. Because I think sometimes we expect consistency to be easy, and it isn't necessarily that, where consistency is really powerful. And I feel like I've built my lifestyle on consistency, even when I don't feel like it. Even when life is bananas and it's just crazy, consistent during the hard seasons, consistent during the busy seasons, it doesn't really matter. It's all the consistency. And I think that our culture celebrates convenience. And I heard someone say that. And yes, where it's so easy for people to leave the hard and try to chase different thrills, or leave the difficult to try to find something easier, and they throw in the towel because they just want the convenience. And I just think that my mentor always says, and she has said this since day one, that success is not convenient, but it leads to a life of convenience. But if our culture celebrates convenience, people aren't sticking around for the consistency. They're not pressing in to when life is hard, life is difficult, and you have to stay in it. You have to stay in the grind. You have to stay in the hard, and you'll make it better. Stay in the hard and you'll get better. You have a commitment to honor, and when you honor that commitment, you persevere. I see so often people start and stop. I call it the stick shift mentality. And they're chasing convenience. It's so easy to show up when life is, easy. It's really easy to show up when you have more time on your hands. It's easy to show up when nothing hard is going on. But when life rocks, and rocks hard and in not a good way, it is way harder to show up. It's way harder to stay consistent when you're feeling off, when life is difficult. But we have commitments to honor, and when we do, it gets really, really, really incredible. And so it was a message I heard from Elevation Church, and just taking pieces of it and it just speaking to me in so many different ways, where he said that strength is in the repeat. that when you have that repetition, that is where your strength continues to build. And I just think that that reminder is so good. But he said something where I instantaneously thought to myself, aha, because I've had people say this to me, especially with the journey that I'm on, where people are almost proving that, you know, this lifestyle is too hard or whatever. But he said there's a major difference between relief versus peace, where I've had people say, you know, God is putting it on my heart. I feel at peace with my decision, or ... right? They play the peace card of, you know, this will bring me more peace or whatever. I'm trying not to laugh because when he said this, it just clicked with me that he said, I don't think that it's really peace, it's relief. That they get to walk away, they get to wash their hands away from it. And that gives them this sense of relief that they don't have to press into the hard. That it kind of just gives them this excuse, but they blame it in, oh, like this is the direct, like peace. This, I'm at peace with this. Have you done that, my friend? Because I feel like I have, and it really did bring relief. It wasn't necessarily the right decision because of that whole idea of convenience versus consistency, convenience versus the difficult. And I just know that the times I've just pressed in and the times that I've just worked on myself is when the major transformation happened. And I think people are so good at talking them out of good things, even when those good things are so difficult. So, do you find yourself celebrating convenience? Do you find yourself chasing convenience, chasing a thrill, not working? I even think with marriages, I think that a lot of people want to chase the convenience or the thrill, especially if their marriage is going through a rocky time, instead of just pressing in, really working through it and becoming better because of it. Isn't that a big deal? That is huge. When you stay in the hard and then you really work on yourself and work on whatever it is that you need to work on, you are going to become more resilient, more powerful, more driven, more aware. And you're just going to learn some incredible lessons that teach you about life, that give you better skills, that give you a better mindset, that give you a better perspective. I think perspective is everything. And friend, if you're here and you're listening because you're building a business like I have, and I think some of you that follow me, you're wanting to see what that secret sauce is of how do I make that happen? How do I build this thing? All I can say is that it really is consistency, that you're willing to show up. You're willing to show up no matter what. No matter what. And I just don't use time or whatever as an excuse. I just lean in, press in, I show up, I get it done. Showing up gets you in the battle. Showing up isn't the battle, but it gets you in the battle. And then inside the battle, you're going to wrestle through some big things. You're going to doubt, insecurity, comparison, jealousy. And then that's your story to grow through. That's your story to learn about yourself and why do I feel this way? Why do I feel scarcity? Why do I feel like when someone else is successful that I can't be? And then you really tackle that and then you press into it and then you become more aware and you realize it's because of a limiting belief that you've been carrying around your whole life, and then you're more aware of it, so then you stop living into it and you start to rewrite a different way to live. And then you're still in the arena and you're honoring your commitments, and then you're noticing you're building momentum, and then you're realizing that you don't have as many fears like you did or self-limiting beliefs like you once did, because you're starting to notice everyone else's excuses and you just can't comprehend why they have such silly excuses. It's because you chose to not do the convenient thing. You chose to lean in and press in. You chose the harder way. And the harder way doesn't mean fun all the time, but I can guarantee that you're going to learn a lot through repetition. You're going to learn a lot through consistency. I think that consistency can be boring when you're showing up, wash, rinse, repeating. That I think consistency, finding the joy in the journey is everything, but it's not always going to be this happy time. It's not going to be this easy time all the time. And I think once you realize that, it's like, oh, got it. But when you are doing something that sets your soul on fire, that makes you a better person, you start to see that grit makes you, that you don't have to enjoy every single second of the process. However, I feel like my business and this lifestyle has been built off of consistency. And I look back and think about how proud I am that I never threw in the towel, that made me, that I had incredible lessons to learn from, and it grew me. So, my friend, I hope this speaks to you that are you copping out because you just want a sense of relief, but you're blaming it on, I'm at peace with this decision? That was a huge gut check. And are you celebrating convenience without realizing it? Because I can just even tell you this too, like there are people, I always relate it to getting fit or working out or nutrition or whatever, where there are so many people wanting to lose weight in such unhealthy ways, and they're chasing convenience instead of just putting in the work, because the work outlasts that. The work is the lifestyle. The work you put in is maintainable. These quick fixes aren't, and the thrills come and go. It's such a high of an emotion to such a deep, darker depth. But this consistency is this trajectory of a slow and steady pace that just gradually goes up with some bumps in the road. But your consistency and that repetition is going to make you. I just haven't thrown in the towel. I'm not going anywhere in the sense of I'm not quitting, but I'm working on myself every single day. And sometimes the work just looks very similar each day. Consistency is key. I don't walk away. I don't wash my hands of the responsibility of my commitment. I'm in it. Especially doing what I do, I could never ditch the people that I've linked arms with, that I've invested in. No freaking way. I am so committed. I'm committed more than ever, more so now than 5 years ago. Consistency wins. Success is not convenient. It's not convenient, but it leads to a life of convenience. It gives you more choices. It teaches you a whole heck of a lot about yourself, and it's incredible. Thank you so much for listening. Please screenshot this, upload it, tag me, send this episode to a couple of friends. I cannot wait to hear about it. All right, my friend, have an amazing rest of your day.